Welcome back to Casual Bars Rugby. Just came off the Calcutta Cup match between Scotland and England. 30 points to Scotland, 21 to England at Murrayfield. And listen, I've got a mixture of opinions about this game. I made notes, right? And I wrote them down, but only for the first half, okay? And obviously England started strong. I think it was a shaky start for both teams, but England got that try. The icebreaker try, and we thought, okay, now we have a game in our hands. Scotland has to chase the game at Murrayfield. Fair enough, set up beautifully. And then I made a note after 11 minutes and said, if you take away that try, this must be one of the most error-prone games that I've seen in my life. Individual errors after individual errors after individual errors. And after 11 minutes, I was like, okay, that's a good shot. The game will pick up. And I had the same note after 40 minutes. It was absolutely disgusting. I don't know what happened in that first half. Didn't feel like I was watching rugby. Like, seriously, what were we witnessing? I don't mean to be negative, right? Because the game picked up, obviously, in the second half. Like, it couldn't go more downhill after that. But in the first half, 10 handling errors. That is a ridiculous amount. In the first half, obviously, Scotland smash and grab to get into the lead. They got 2 chances, scored 2 tries. Duan van der Merwe once again. South Africans really just love breaking those English hearts. And because of that, now my girl is English, as most of you know that follow the channel. Now I've got my work cut out for me tonight. Okay, thank you very much, Duan. Thank you very much for being South African and just doing your job. But it felt like a smash and grab for Scotland in the first half, and then the second half they kind of dominated until the last 15 minutes where the game picked up finally, and England decided, listen, let's not be stupid anymore and just box kick everything, because it felt like I was watching 2017 Springboks rugby, even 2018 Springboks rugby, where we just literally put the boot out and box kick literally everything and hope for the best. Felt like I was watching South Africa versus England in the semi-final, like it's the wettest game on earth. This was a brilliant game for running rugby. Both teams are defensively a bit vulnerable, but neither team really attacked the gain line. I do not understand this whatsoever. I made a comment on my TikTok right now. I thought Wales would have battered both teams the way that Wales played today. Obviously, Wales got battered in the end by Ireland, but they could have at least held their chins up. I don't think either of these two teams really went out die trying. Scotland, obviously, victors, well done to Scotland for getting that. Obviously, I rooted for Scotland. You have South Africans in your team. We love the underdog story. Obviously, if they can pull off an upset victory over Ireland, that could make it an interesting game between the two of them. But it just felt like a very, very disappointing game this to watch. As a neutral, obviously, no emotional investment in this, really. But it felt like even when they decided to attack, it didn't really look like the teams knew what to do. Because it's like, I mean, that's a bit unfair to say, because every time they tried to attack, they just knocked the ball again. It was just a shaky game. Those last 15 minutes were absolutely brilliant, don't get me wrong. When Wabosa came on, absolutely sensational. He has to start the next game against France. There's no beating around the bush here for Borthwick. Wabosa has to start. Furbank scored a brilliant try and then decided to have an absolute shocker afterwards. Blakey on, in my opinion, I know Duan van der Merwe got man of the match and he scored a hat-trick, but Blakey on was sensational under the eyeball. He kept his calm. He was brilliant, in my opinion. Carl Steyn had a bit of a quiet game, in my opinion. But the forwards of Scotland really did the job. I think there's a couple of standout players for England as well, but overall you have to give more props to Scotland because they dominated most parts of the game. Finn Russell just doing his job, obviously got the crossfield kick. Duan van Merwe set up beautifully. Hugh Jones, wow. absolutely scintillating game. Tui Pelotu had a quiet game, but Hugh Jones, his partner in crime, absolutely brilliant. I think Henry Slade had a decent game. Ollie Lawrence, shocking. Wow, really shocking. Ben Earl, once again, a standout performer for England. I'm just trying to think of standout performers. Ollie Lawrence, nowhere to be found. Go look in the lost and found. Maybe he's there. Maybe he's in a thrift shop. Buy him for $2. I don't even know. Where was this guy on the field? George Ford, average. Just felt like very average today. And I had high hopes for the game. That's why I'm so disappointed at the moment. It's because you go into this game so hyped up for it. You talk to people, you get them onto your channel, and you really build up the game because you're expecting a great game, and people talking about this being the greatest rivalry in the sport. Not necessarily the biggest game, but the greatest rivalry. England have a lot to play for. They're still unbeaten. Scotland defending the Calcutta Cup, playing for history. There's a lot riding on the game, and you think both teams would really come out and try and get a statement performance, really put it out there. And I felt neither team really did that. So just like running through the game quickly, England obviously got that early try, and I really thought this was set up beautifully. But then Hugh Jones gets a sniff of an opportunity, cuts England in half, offloads to Duan van der Merwe to score, and he just loves to try against England. Then once again England on the attack, and handling error. Furbank, his first real mistake, to be honest. Easy pass right in front of his face, slips through the hands, bounces off his head onto Duan van der Merwe, skins, I think it was Ollie Lawrence, could have been Ellis Genge, I'm not too sure. Big difference in numbers, but they kind of look the same if you just look quickly. So skins him, just burns everyone for pace, scores in the corner again, and this is kind of where you felt the momentum switched, because when you get a knock like that, if you're England, it's like you've been doing all the work, but you have nothing to show for it. You have that one try, but they had two opportunities, two sniffs, and they scored twice. And Finn Russell, you couldn't even pay him to miss a kick at the moment. The guy just doesn't miss kicks. Like this was always one of the flaws that people talked about when it comes to Finn Russell. Is he's so good, he's so fluent in his attacking rugby, but he misses kicks, almost like Manie Lubbock. And now he can't miss a kick. He can't miss a kick to save his life. Now I'm trying to remember how everything went. I think there was a couple of penalties that went both sides. Ford didn't miss a kick. I think there was one missed kick in the entire game. And that was obviously... Oh my goodness, I forgot the replacement's name as well. Finn Smith. When he came from the bench, he missed the kick. I think that was a massive kick. I think that would have given England a bit more hope, knowing they only need one try to at least get the draw. Obviously, then Scotland would still retain the trophy. But missing that kick, and they know they have to get over the try line and then get some more points on the board, I think that was a bit of a stamp or a bit of a stomp on the momentum that they had. But overall, I'm a bit disappointed with the game, to be honest. But I mean, what can you do? Hopefully next time it's better. England hopes pretty much in the drain now, with the Irish already having all these bonus points. England not even getting a bonus point out of this game. Scotland still have some hope. So let's hope for Scotland's upset victory. As we know, I'm going for the underdog story. I really hope the underdog story happens, but I don't see anyone beating Ireland at the moment. Thank you very much for watching. If you did like the video, please remember to subscribe to the channel. I appreciate each and every one of you guys every single time. Thank you.